Now is Obama senior campaign advisor and former White House press secretary Robert Gibbs. Robert, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Last Sunday, same show, same place, same desk. Susan Rice, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, came on this program, and I asked her about the attack on the American consulate in Benghazi. Here's what she said.
The best information and the best assessment we have today is that, in fact, this was not a pre-planned, premeditated attack. That what happened initially was that it was a spontaneous reaction to what had just transpired in Cairo as a consequence of the video.
Why did Ambassador Rice give the American people bad information?
Well, I think, as you heard Ambassador Rice say, the best information that we had at the point in which she gave that answer is the answer that she gave. And look, Ambassador Rice, Chris, has access to far more intelligence data than I do anymore. I would say this: as we have learned more and as this investigation continues, I anticipate we will continue to learn more facts about the awful assassination, murder of our great ambassador in Libya. You saw the White House say that this was a terror attack, and nobody wants to get to the bottom of this more than the President and the Secretary of State, so that we can protect our missions and our consulates throughout the world and remain engaged.
But I specifically, last Sunday, asked Ambassador Rice about the President of Libya, who was then saying it was pre-planned. I specifically asked her about al-Qaeda, which said that it was revenge for the killing of a top al-Qaeda leader. Ms. Rice didn't say, "We don't know, I'll get back to you." She said it was a spontaneous attack that was not pre-planned, that spun out of control. She had information at that time, and the information she gave the American people was wrong.
Well, again, Chris, I think you look back at that answer, and she says the answer, she has the information, the answer, based on what she knew at that point. We've learned more, and we're going to continue to learn more. The most important thing is we get to the bottom of the intelligence and what happened and what may or may not have caused this incident. That the State Department review of the security of our missions and our consulates, not just in Benghazi and Tripoli, but throughout the world, make sure that we protect those that are there to serve our interests. You know, Paul Ryan's got a budget that would cut diplomatic security. We don't think that's a good idea.
So in fact, would your sequestration cut diplomatic security?
Well, the sequestration that the Congress can solve when and if they decide to come to the table and start.
That part of it in the Defense Department was actually cut as a demand by your administration.
Well, sequestration, again, was a result of the super committee involved completely of Congress being unable to come up with.
But the Democrats insisted on certain cuts, and the Republicans demanded certain cuts, and the security cuts were part of the demands of the Obama White House.
Super committee set up an incentive to come to a conclusion, and Congress yet again shirked its responsibilities and failed to come up with the cuts necessary to implement the debt agreement that Speaker Boehner and President Obama had agreed to. But look, I think...
Let me go back, if I can, though, to the bad information that was being put out. You can say in good faith, but the bad information that was being put out by the Obama administration. Here's what your successor as press secretary, Jay Carney, said last week. Let's listen.
We have no information to suggest that it was a pre-planned attack. The unrest we've seen around the region has been in reaction to a video that many Muslims find offensive.
Again, at the time that he said that, there was plenty of information that it was a pre-planned attack. Susan Collins, the co-chair of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, said people don't show up to a spontaneous demonstration with RPGs, rocket-propelled grenades, and machine guns. Specific question, because this is really the bottom line. Did the Obama administration play down what happened in Libya, what happened in Cairo, because it would make Obama foreign policy look better?
Absolutely, no one intentionally or unintentionally misled anybody involved in this. Absolutely not. Again, that's an answer that the press secretary gave on September the 14th. It's now September the 23rd. We learn more information every single day about what happened. Nobody wants to get to the bottom of this more than we do. Look, let's also understand this. We saw a wave of violence throughout the region. What we saw in Libya, though, was this weekend has been very important. 30,000 people in the streets protesting against Islamic terrorists, against armed militias. This is a very dangerous region of the world that has embraced democracy and is undergoing the beginnings of that democratic action. None of this is going to be easy, Chris. It's important that we remain fully engaged in this part of the world. The president talked with the leader in Libya, talked to President Morsi, made sure they understood their obligations in protecting our consulates and our embassies.
You talk about being fully engaged.